Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PDAC 2024. Commodity here for you in Toronto. And it's our pleasure now to talk to Ari Sussman, who is the chairman of Collective Mining. Ari, welcome and good morning.
Always great to see you. Glad you made it to Toronto. Okay.
Absolutely. Glad we made it also. And no, that's super great to see you here. Long time. I think we have met the last time here at PDAC, like I think 2019 or something it was.
2019 or 18,
and then
I think
I saw
you're
you
right.
shortly in Zurich, which was great. So Continental Gold was a great success. Again, congratulations on that. Everybody made a lot of money. So now your newest venture, I would call it, Collective Mining, also in Colombia. Give us a short insight into it before we go in medias res.
So look, Collective Mining was really born out of Continental Gold. It was a company we put together on the back of the sale. And we had these conceptual ideas in the country of where to go look for large scale deposits. This one was formed differently. I mean, Continental Gold was formed to attack high grade veins. Mm-hmm. Now we're attacking porphyry systems, and this time gold rich porphyry systems. So pretty exciting, and we're on to something quite special.
Yeah, that looks really to me like, because I saw already some drill results and they were really like, wow, outstanding, blowing me away. I think you have two projects, Guayabales, I hope I said it right, in San Antonio. And what I found really interesting is that Guayabales is surrounding Marmato from Ares Gold. So that rings a bell here in my back.
Yeah, so Guayabales, you're close.
Guayabales, okay.
Yeah, in San Antonio, they're only 2 kilometers apart as the crow flies. So what they're part of a porphyry cluster district. For your viewers, porphyries tend to occur around the world wherever they are in areas covering about 6 square kilometers, right, in some shape. And so we recognize Aris Mining's Marmato mine directly contiguous next door as being at the edge of one of those 6-ish kilometer squared porphyry cluster districts. So we went in and we picked up all the ground that was part of the porphyry district. And in 2021, we did the hard work that nobody cares about, which is grassroots surface exploration, and generated a whole series of targets. And ever since 2022, we've been drilling with some pretty exciting success.
Absolutely. So what would be, let's say, the game plan for this year? I think you want to drill again a lot. I mean, as said, the results are outstanding. We talk about gold, silver, copper. Yeah,
correct.
Which is, I would say, at least the silver and copper is the super metal of choice. Gold is the insurance, as I always call it. So what's the plan for this year? Can you specify this a bit?
Yeah, so look, we're a big, go home drilling company. I mean, we have a wonderful primary discovery at what we call the Apollo system, with a system that starts right at surface in high grade bulk tonnage of, as you mentioned, gold, silver, and copper. And in that one, tungsten. Of all things too.
Okay.
Yeah, we have high grade tungsten at the top 150 meters. But we think that is one porphyry finger of a bunch. And so we made a decision to explore very hard, in the fall of last year, in the fall of 2023. And since then, we've announced 2 new discoveries. One we call Trap, where we cut about 650 meters from near surface at just under 1 gram per ton, gold equivalent, bottom demineralization. And then we announced another one called Olympus Deep, where we drilled just over 200 meters at north of 2 grams gold equivalent. That whole bottom demineralization, because we got stuck on a fault and couldn't advance further. We just did a financing with an unnamed strategic investor, so we're very cashed up. We have about $28 million in the bank. We're going to drill as much as we can this year. That means at least 40,000 meters. And we're going to test Apollo, we're going to test Trap, we're going to test Olympus Deeps, and then we're going to test 3 newly generated targets, which are called Box, X, and Tower, respectively. So if you're into potentially, big systems, this is really it. We think we're going to, demonstrate that this is world-class in terms of its cumulative scale. And the goal here isn't to build a mine like we did previously. It's to ultimately sell it. So we're trying to put a bow around as big a system as we can, so to speak, and then attract as large a major, into the portfolio and take over the company eventually.
Okay, super. And I think you are really in a big mining area there, because when I look at the map, I said Ares Gold, I think Landin is there, Vale is there, a lot of big names. Yeah, so infrastructure-wise, that must be quite good.
So, right? So we're in a wonderful place with infrastructure. I mean, we're literally within 2 kilometers anywhere you go off the Pan American Highway. And interestingly about Colombia, all of its power is generated by hydro. They have a lot of moving bodies of water. And so there's excess capacity, reliable power. So we've got power, roads, and we're in a mining area with RS Mining contiguous to us. So this is an excellent place to be. I think the real value proposition is this, in the decades from 1990 prior, the industry in gold would make one mega discovery per decade, mega discovery being 50 million ounces or more. We don't do that anymore. It stopped after the 1990s. And I'm not up here to say to you, we have 50 million ounces, but when you think about Aris, which has 9 million ounces in all resource categories and going to get bigger, you think about our Apollo system, we haven't done a resource estimate yet, but it's clearly a multi-million ounce gold equivalent system, and everything we're discovering. You can't imagine a scenario that this evolves into a camp, all kind of within 4.5 kilometers, of big deposits, and they could accumulate to something very large. So we're pretty blessed to be here, and the other thing about it too is what I like to tell people is you and I are not technical people.
Nope.
Okay. But there's so much metal in this hydrothermal fluid system that if my geologist said to you and I go place a hole somewhere, we wouldn't find the deposit, but we would hit gold, we would hit some copper, we would hit silver, and that's because we're in a giant system, and so our goal is to try and pull as much value out of the ground as early and as fast as possible and attract a buyer.
Okay. So do you want to do a resource estimate, let's say next year?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, the thing is, the goal of the end of 2024 is to put an envelope around what we think could possibly be here, and then we'll try and, I think, bring 2 systems, Apollo for sure, one, plus another one, up along the resource evolution together, so that when we announce a resource, there's 2 of them coming out, right? And you can, and a larger company could start to think about what would it be like to build 2 separate entities with one central processing plant in production. So that's our goal. So yes, next year we'll start to put our head around doing that.
Okay, super. So you said already strategic partners in 28 million in the bank, which is absolutely great. That should last, I think, for this year, next year. Also, 31% is management.
So we're about 40% after the strategic
that's
investment.
Outstanding, I would say.
I mean, our money's where our mouth is with
Exactly.
this deal. I mean, we obviously had success at Continental Gold, and you don't get rich taking salary in this business, right?
Definitely
I mean,
not. Yeah.
That's just to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And this is about the upside of the equity. So we're really motivated to make this work.
Absolutely. So we are motivated to stick with you here, and honestly, I should buy some stock.
Please do. Yeah.
Okay, Ari, thank you very much. Great.
Thank you.
And please keep us updated.
Will do.
We look forward to that.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ari Sussman, the chairman of Collective Mining. Yeah, you heard it. Large porphyry systems, open pittable, 28 million in the bank. Strategic partner already in. So that looks really great. Colombia is a great place to be. Definitely they are in the mining elephant territory. And as you heard, only 2 kilometers away from the Pan American Highway. So infrastructure is great. Hydropower. That's exactly what we want to see. And they were going to drill 40,000 meters easily. So next year we want to see what will be the result out of that. I'm pretty sure there will be a fantastic resource estimate. So check out that fantastic company. I really have to. Thanks and bye-bye from Toronto, PDAC 2024.